Stefon Diggs. This trade completely flipped the script on modern wide receiver deals. Stefon Diggs wanted out of Minnesota. The Bills wanted a weapon for Josh Allen. Boom, a trade was made. Diggs in his 7th went to Buffalo for a 2020 first, 5th, 6th, and a 2021 4th. The Bills, they got a wide receiver 1 who instantly elevated their offense. In 2020, Diggs led the league in catches and yards, and Buffalo reached the AFC title game. But here's the kicker. Minnesota used that first-round pick to draft Justin Jefferson. Since then, he's the fastest player to reach 5,000 receiving yards and holds the most yards ever through the first 4 seasons. Both teams ended up with top 5 receivers, a rare win-win, with 2 explosive offenses born from a single blockbuster trade. Matthew Stafford. The Rams were in win-now mode. They'd seen enough of Jared Goff and needed a QB who could push them over the top. Enter Matthew Stafford. The Lions got Goff, 2 firsts, and a 3rd. What happened? The Rams won the Super Bowl in Stafford's first year. He threw 41 touchdowns and engineered a clutch 4th quarter drive in the biggest game of the year. Meanwhile, Goff found redemption in Detroit. He helped guide the Lions to their first NFC championship since 1991 and played his best football in years. Those Rams picks, Detroit used them to add talent like Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta. So LA got a ring, but Detroit got a future. Beautiful symmetry. Derrick Henry. In 2016, the Rams were desperate for a franchise QB, but the Titans held the #1 pick, so a deal was struck. LA sent 6 picks, including 2 firsts, for the rights to draft a guy who we just talked about, Jared Goff. It was a blockbuster. The Rams got their dude, and though Goff struggled early, he later led LA to a Super Bowl in 2018 and helped the team reach the playoffs 3 times. Yeah, he ended up getting traded later for Stafford, but he still gave LA serious value, and Tennessee made out just as well. They used the Rams' 2nd-round pick to draft Derrick Henry, who became the heart of their offense. Henry won 2 rushing titles, broke 2,000 yards in 2020, and dragged defenses around for years. One team got a quarterback, the other got a wrecking ball, and both built winning identities off the same trade. Eli Manning. The drama for Eli started before even the draft. Eli Manning and his dad made it clear he was not playing for the Chargers, yet San Diego drafted him anyways. Minutes later, the Giants took Phillip Rivers, and a swap was brokered. Eli to New York, Rivers plus picks to the Chargers. What followed was 2 brilliant careers. Rivers became the Iron Man of San Diego, never missed a start, led 6 playoff trips, and owns every passing record in franchise history. Eli, he brought the Giants 2 Super Bowl rings, including the one that took down the 18-0 Patriots. Both QBs played over 15 seasons. Both defined their teams. One got the rings, one got the stats, but both sides walked away with the franchise quarterback. Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs made a gutsy call and traded 2 first-round picks and a 3rd to move up and grab a gunslinger from Texas Tech. Who was that guy? Patrick Mahomes. 8 seasons in, he's got 3 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs, and is already on a Hall of Fame trajectory. They used the Hall to draft Tre'Davious White, Deion Dawkins, and Tremaine Edmonds, 4 pieces for a defense that helped make Buffalo a perennial contender. The irony is that Mahomes has been the Bills' playoff nightmare, constantly picking off that very defense which he allowed the Bills to get. Still, Buffalo turned those picks into real contributors. This is one of those rare trades where both sides saw value, even if one built a dynasty from it. Khalil Mack. This one looked lopsided at first. The Raiders traded away their best player, Khalil Mack, for 2 first-round picks from the Bears. The Bears instantly got results. Mack had 12.5 sacks in his first season and helped Chicago reach the playoffs. But over time, the Raiders' value was still found. One of their picks turned into Josh Jacobs, who led the league in rushing in 2022 and has 2 Pro Bowls under his belt. While Mack's production tapered off in Chicago, the Bears got instant elite defense, and the Raiders got their backfield centerpiece. Both sides got what they needed. Chicago won right away. Vegas built for later. Clinton Portis. Player-for-player trades rarely work out. Portis was coming off 2 1,500-yard seasons in Denver, and Bailey was a lockdown corner in Washington. The trade shocked everyone, but worked perfectly. Bailey became a Broncos legend. 12 Pro Bowls, 52 interceptions, and a Hall of Famer. Portis didn't slow down in DC either. He rushed for nearly 7,000 yards with Washington and became one of their all-time greats. Both teams traded one elite player for another and didn't miss a beat. No cap space gymnastics, no extra picks, just 2 stars swapping jerseys and still dominated. Michael Vick. The Falcons wanted Michael Vick badly. Bad enough to intentionally move up from number 5 to number 1 in the draft to get him. The Chargers took the deal, slid down to 5, and drafted LaDainian Tomlinson, then grabbed Drew Brees later in the 2nd. The Falcons got a generational dual-threat QB who transformed their franchise. Vick's highlight reel runs made him a cultural icon, but the Chargers got a Hall of Fame running back and a future Pro Bowl QB in Breeze. That's two foundational stars from one trade. It's not often a team gives up a #1 pick and walks away grinning, but the Chargers absolutely did. Jared Allen. Jared Allen wanted out of Kansas City, and Minnesota was all for it. The Chiefs got a first and 2 third-rounders for the sale of Jared, and in return, the Vikings got a pass-rushing terror. Allen posted double-digit sacks for 4 straight seasons and came within a half sack of the single-season record in 2011. Kansas City used one of the thirds to draft Jamal Charles, who averaged 5.4 yards per carry over his career, made multiple Pro Bowls, and became the Chiefs' all-time rushing leader. Minnesota got a defensive cornerstone. Kansas City got a record-setting back. Two completely different results, same satisfying outcome. Brock Osweiler. This might be the weirdest win-win trade ever. The Texans paid the Browns a second-round pick, essentially just to take Brock Osweiler's bloated contract. Cleveland said, sure, and turned that second into Nick Chubb. Since then, Chubb's been a 4-time Pro Bowler, rushing for over 1,000 yards in the healthy seasons he's had, even if there haven't been many. The Texans, however, offloading Osweiler's salary gave them the room to draft Deshaun Watson, which gave them their first good QB in ages. While that story got messy quickly, Watson was a top 5 QB at his peak in Houston. One team got rid of dead weight, the other turned it into gold. That's what you call a win-win. Brandon Cooks. New England needed speed, so they traded their first-round pick for Brandon Cooks, and in 1 year, he had 1,082 yards, 7 touchdowns, and helped the Pats return to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, he got knocked out early in that game, but his impact during the season was real. The Saints, they used the pick to draft Ryan Ramczyk, who was an all-pro caliber right tackle for 3 years and protected Drew Brees in his later years. Cooks became a short-term boost, and Ramczyk became a solid offensive line anchor. That's some good value for both teams. Emmanuel Sanders. By 2019, the Broncos were in full rebuild mode, and Emmanuel Sanders, an aging but still productive wideout, wanted a shot at another ring. The 49ers, meanwhile, were contenders in need of a veteran target. The Niners sent 3rd and 4th round picks to Denver in exchange for Sanders and a 5th, and the result was immediate impact. Sanders helped stretch defenses, brought leadership, and was pivotal in San Francisco's run to the Super Bowl that season. He racked up nearly 500 yards in only 10 games and gave Jimmy Garoppolo a reliable deep threat which he needed. On the other side, Denver turned the extra picks into depth and youth, crucial for their roster overhaul. It wasn't flashy, but it was effective. One team got a little push, and the other stocked up for the future. A classic win-win. That's a wrap for the best win-win trades in NFL history. If you think we missed any trades that should have been included on our list, then let us know in the comments. And if you think that we included one which was completely absurd, then you can keep your opinion to yourself. But if you like this video, give Football for Dummies a subscribe and check this next video out, which YouTube thinks you're going to absolutely love.